Hi. So I quickly wanted to cover how BooleanMaths Enrichment Layer ensures that you have extremely accurate data. So we solve for two specific problems. The first problem is that when a user in clicks on a Meta ad, Meta opens that ad click in Meta's web view. So it's your domain, but it's opening in Meta's web view. Meta controls a lot of the browser characteristics. Uh, when the same user clicks on a Google ad or visits your store organically, that session opens in your device's native browser. So this might be Chrome or Safari. Now, most trackers will track these two different sessions, Meta's WebView and the Safari Chrome session, as two different users. So that's what's happening over here. This user came by Instagram and Meta, and these were tracked as one visitor, two sessions. And when the same visitor came back via Google Ads, they were tracked as a different visitor. This essentially breaks user journey into two components and sometimes even more. Why is this important? Because let's say this user converts from this Google paid ad. So Google's going to see this as a valid conversion, but Meta is not going to see it. Uh, Second is when you work with third-party checkouts. So let's say you're working with a third-party checkout platform like GoKwik. Anytime a visitor comes to your store and starts a checkout process, they are rerouted from the Shopify domain to GoKwik's domain. The rest of the checkout activity happens on GoKwik's domain. Now, at the start of this rerouting, Shopify passes the cart token to GoKwik, and GoKwik at the end of the checkout is supposed to pass that cart token back along with all other details about what happened during the checkout. When GoKwik passes that cart token back and passes all checkout information back correctly, we can merge the Shopify user journey with the checkout party user journey, and everything's great. But anytime when GoKwik fails to pass the token back, then what you have is you have an isolated session which converted, and you have a broken user journey that does not see a conversion. And this happens roughly 10% of the time. So GoKwik does not pass the token back 10% of the time. Other checkout partners might do it up to 25% of the time. And so essentially, anytime you're using a third-party checkout tool, at least 8 to 10% of the time, you will have these standalone conversions which are not being merged back to the user journey. This is again something BooleanMaths fixes by using custom merge algorithms. I'm going to quickly show you examples of both of these. So let's just go look at orders and the corresponding user journey. Yeah, so this is a very good example for it. So this particular session, this particular user converted from a quick engage session, but these older sessions that happened on Facebook, they were then merged back with this isolated session to create this complete user journey. Similarly, if I open anyone else, yeah, over here as well, this particular user converted from a WhatsApp campaign on Big, but there were these other sessions from Google paid, from Facebook paid, from another Facebook paid. There are these four sessions across Google and Facebook paid, which were merged back to create this complete user journey. And this is how we're able to track uh, complete user journeys across multiple browsers and across third-party checkouts. Why is this super important? I'll quickly show you that as well. Yeah. So this is the overlap between these two channels, Google and Meta, without any enrichment. So with just standard tracking, we can see that there's 14 orders, around 1.5%, that overlap between Google and Meta. If I switch to enriched, uh, that's when we see what's actually happening. There's almost 25% orders, 254, which are overlapping with Meta and Google. So all this overlap is simply goes undetected because your tracker is not able to merge sessions from these two different browsers, from the Meta's WebView browser and your phone's native browser. Yeah. So that's how this works. Enrichment gives you much better handle on what your user journeys are. It's available as a mode within multi-touch attribution, so I can switch between standard and enrich mode. and analyze data accordingly.